show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Effizode 690. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer, plus it's a new Into an Interview with a great San Francisco band called El Terrible. Today I talked to the lead singer and guitarist, TERRY Ashkinos.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I made it sound Greek. I didn't take a Greek class in high school, but that's my loss.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I had to take Espanol because I live in California, and this used to be owned by Mexico. Hey, today I wanted you to know that yesterday Madame Rutabaga blew up when I told her how much I had to pay for Basil the Boxer being off leash. It was a horrible day. Terrible. Huh? What?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And may I say that there's also a story coming up I'm going to tell you about Google and their
Mike's
ads
Daily
everywhere.
Podcast.
It's been such a long time.
Yeah.
I think I should be going. Little Boston. For you there. That's how I sing, is up here. I don't know why. Yeah, so Google ads everywhere. Find out about that in a moment. But I wanted to let you know that speaking of the internet and social media, I don't know. I might be a little bit being filled with jealousy and enviousness at all these other sins. Sorry, I went to a church thing this morning. What? Yes, I went to a church thing this morning because my voice is on an ad for a local church. It's actually a huge church. You can't miss it if you go through Podcastro Valley, California. It's the Three Crosses. I forget the name of the actual church. Neighborhood church? The church, by the way, whatever. A lot of people in Castro Valley go there. And I have to say, I'm not going to talk about religion for much here. I just wanted to say this, that at this little meeting, what it is men go to this. It's every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m., which is way too early for me. I'm just saying. And there was way too much starch there. The things to eat were, let's see, bagels and more bagels and some schmear. And oy vey, did I go to Temple? And there were some donuts. But the guy who runs it, his name's Mark, he keeps it moving. And it's all about trying to help people. So it's very enticing, this group, because, people have a lot of problems. A lot of men, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, like most people, but, a lot of men have super big responsibilities. And these were some very responsible men. You could tell they were leaders of industry or employees of industry and were working, with their families and their kids. They had issues big time. One guy was in a car accident and he was talking about that and all his issues that he's going through with that. And I just was happy to see people being helped, that we're in a situation they needed to talk, and for them praying is a big thing. So it was an interesting experience, I have to say. I am really against organized religion deep down, because I have seen it go bad, really bad, many times. I had a personal experience with that, seeing it go bad. So I'm a little bit kind of, I don't just jump in to something like that. But I will say Mark was doing a good job with that. And it's interesting. My friend Robert Owen Welsh animated my voice to something that they're putting on one of their ads. So that's very cool. And then the other thing was, I'll get to this tomorrow. I can't go and complain about Facebook right now. I'm in a positive mood, because going to one of those, anything like that, you come out very positive, I will say that. But I will not be working for any Christian radio stations anytime soon. That's just the music they play. Ugh. Although I am listening to a Michael W. Smith album that I taped off of somebody back in the 90s. God, why did I just admit that? Michael W. Smith is Christian rock. And I must caveat this by saying I wrote a song that I've played at many coffee houses around the Bay Area called God is Embarrassed by Christian Pop Music. Perhaps I will someday feature it on this show. It's a song I wrote a long time ago, and I think if you imagine a supreme being, an all-knowing and all-powerful, that we don't even have the ability to understand because it's far beyond our feeble little brains, then why the heck would he even like Christian pop music? It's some of the most mundane. I would imagine God enjoying like Frank Zappa's stuff because it's difficult to dissect. Some of your classic symphony, classical music composers, he would be up there, enjoying their stuff. But Christian pop music, where it's mostly just, pop songs with God written in it, as South Park pointed out. But I think I like this Michael W. Smith album because Michael Omartian, or Martian, I forget how you say his name. He was sort of a big 90s producer, and he produces this song. And Michael W. Smith, he's going for you can tell he wants to become a big pop artist. So a lot of his songs don't have God in there. It's more like issues about, if you're lonely, I'll be there for you. That was his big song. I will be there for you somewhere in the night. You remember that? Hearing that in the early 90s? His other one was, my place in this world, a place in this world. See, very pop. You repeat the line more than once so that people realize it's the hook, and then you sell the records. I guess what I'm saying is I'm a musical mess. But I like all kinds of stuff. I'm just a fan of music, maybe is what it is. And in a way, music is messy. As we will find out as we talk to Terry in a moment here. But first, look who's walking in. Hello, my God, it's Chely Shoehart, the supervisor. Oh my God, I don't know what you were just talking about. It was, music's a mess. Life's a mess. Music should reflect. That's when music is at its best, is when life is, it's this weird, messy thing. It makes us tap our feet, makes us dance, makes us think, makes us, go, why the hell is Mike listening to Michael W. Smith? Maybe because we share the same first name. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I don't even know who Michael W. Smith is. He was big in the 90s. He was sort of like the male version of Amy Grant. Oh, okay, I have no idea who that is either. Oh, look who else just walked in. Hello, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman! And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, it's okay to talk about religion and spirituality. It's something we all think about. Wow, from an engineer point of view, that's amazing that you believe that. Well, you don't think engineers don't think about these sort of... We think about all things. That's why we're engineers. We think about the logistics of everything in the physical space. Wow, John Deere, that's deep. Yeah, Mike, I think John Deere is one of the deepest guys I know. He's like a well. He sometimes smells like one, too. Oh, that's sweet. Well, this is interesting. So Google is predicting advertisements displayed on your Nest Smart thermostat. I don't even have one of those, so I don't care. As well as all across wearables like Google Glass, which I'm seeing everybody wear those these days. And I say that sarcastically, because I don't. Well, there's Android. I guess there's more Android wear in the works as well. So maybe they'll come up with something that doesn't make you look like a complete geek when you're wearing it. Maybe you want to look like a complete geek. They're also going to have advertisements on car dashboards and more. This according to slashgear.com. Google is trying to clue the government in on what it will be with the ad opportunities of tomorrow. The idea of the spread of marketing and similar promotional information across different wearable and smart home devices came as Google responded to an SEC concern about falling ad revenues as the traditional ways of displaying them become diversified. Yes, the Securities and Exchange Commission had questioned Google on falling cost per click rates for its advertising services, particularly around the shift from desktop to mobile. It had also requested a breakdown by platform, something Google says not only isn't easy today, but is also only going to get harder tomorrow. So, advertising is no longer being designed solely for one platform, but intended to be run across many. Google's enhanced campaigns are dynamically adjusted to suit different sizes and shapes of screens. But who wants an ad on their wall coming through their thermostat? Although if you need a voice artist to say, the ads, I am available. He whored himself out. In fact, the Nest thermostats and the management of it has suggested that selling data, although it is filtered and to some extent anonymized, is likely to be a bigger source of income moving forward than selling thermostats themselves. What do you think about all that? About ads? And about I think what they forget in all of this is, as a society, we have blocked out ads, period. We have seen so many, it's like sidewalks. We don't even see sidewalks anymore. We just know that, they're there. We don't look at things. When you live in a state like I used to, Alabama, there was trees everywhere, and you just block out the trees. And you go, what's this thing that just fell in front of me on the road? And what's this, a sidewalk? I think I've pointed out before that Alabama doesn't really believe in sidewalks. I didn't see that many around where I lived anyway. So what do you think about all that? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. I read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. And there's the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can find the link to where to listen to us in iTunes. Subscribe to the show in iTunes, and when I post a new show, share it with your friends, and more people will find out about us that way. And there's also the link to the Amazon deal of the day. There's the Facebook page link, the Twitter page, Tumblr, Yelp, Mixcloud, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, and there's also the blog and the daily podcast picture at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Into an interview.
Hello?
Hey, Terry.
Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Good. It's Terry from El Terrible.
Correctamundo.
Excellent. Terry Ashkinos.
Right.
And it's... Yes, it's...
I'm sitting here with Scott Eberhardt, our drummer. We just finished rehearsal, and we're getting ready to go back in the studio and do some recording, so we've been working on some new stuff.
Ooh, exciting. Yay. What is it? Is it going to be anything crazy? Any bit of information you can leak?
I don't know. It's louder and a little bit more in a Sonic Youth direction, maybe.
Ooh.
But it's we're definitely like becoming more of a live band. Like the recording that we released earlier this year was sort of a project that I did with a producer, and wasn't sure that it was going to be a band at the time because I was playing with another band called Fake Your Own Death. So when we decided to release it, we put together the three-piece band that we are now, and it's just it's been like 8 months or something now, and so we've been playing a bunch of shows, and we've definitely stepped it up a level. Like now it's a live band. We're pulling this crazy stuff off live, and it feels very good.
So you're recording it live, like
No, not necessarily, but I'm just saying that recording we did before was sort of me bringing in musicians from other bands, this and that. Like it wasn't a band project. It was more like me and a producer, whereas the one we're working on now is definitely a band project where everyone's contributing.
Which is you, Scott Eberhardt, and Adrian McCulloch. He's on bass, synth, and backing vocals.
He plays bass and keyboards, and everybody sings.
And I saw you guys play at the Bottom of the Hill back in March, and that was a great show.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so that was one of our first shows, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're a new band, and we're playing next week at Brick and Mortar with this awesome band called Blood Red Shoes from the UK, and another band called Radkey, I think are from Minnesota, St. Paul, yeah.
Oh.
And then we saw them at South by Southwest, and I was blown away. They're really good.
Wow.
Put us on your pod?
I can bleep.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, everybody cusses on podcasts these days. So
Okay.
I just edit. I was in radio for a long time, so I'm so used to editing.
Okay, good.
So
To get out all my lulls in conversation. Yeah, so
But there's so much
we're
fun.
doing that, and then we're playing a fundraiser on the 31st for Supervisor Compost.
yes,
And that will be at the DNA Lounge on in the afternoon, like around 5 o'clock.
yeah. Tell me about that. So that is a week from this Saturday at the DNA Lounge, and it's for who?
David Compost.
And he,
Yeah.
and
He's a mission rep. He's running for a supervisor. And he's just very sort of arts-friendly thinking and public school-friendly. And that's meaningful to us on both levels.
And you're a teacher as well, so.
I'm a teacher, and so is Scott, yeah.
Oh, okay. You're both teachers. Awesome. Is Adrian
Yeah.
Adrian's not a teacher?
H is a skipper. He drives boats.
Oh, okay.
But we all live in the mission, and, we're trying to keep as much of an art scene here as we can because things are transforming so quickly.
Yeah. Wow. Well, people should check that out at the DNA Lounge a week from this Saturday, 5 p.m. And it's you and a couple other bands, right? Or
It's just us and one other band.
and what? Okay, yeah.
Some Future Twin. Future Twin.
Future Twin. That's it.
And honestly, I don't know the details of that, but we're going to post them very soon. I'm waiting to hear back from the campaign.
And where can people find out more about El Terrible?
At our Bandcamp site, this is the best. It's El Terrible at elterrible.bandcamp.com.
Got it.
Or on Facebook or on the interwebs.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a million sites now.
So I want to play the song Here's the Story.
Great.
Tell me a little bit about how this one came about.
Well, so Rob Eason, our producer, and I kind of workshopped this on acoustic guitar. I was just sort of playing this song. And honestly, I wrote all these songs when I was in Berlin last summer. I spent about 6 weeks there. And it was a story that someone told me about. They were trying to play around with the idea on these dating sites. There's a girl who wanted to kind of find the craziest sort of date that she could find online and follow through with it and see what happened. And it sounded like a stupid idea, but she was telling us a story and how this guy tried to kind of lead her into the woods. And she kind of went along with it all the way to the end and then got kind of freaked out and ran away.
Whoa.
But I thought about that whole moment of her kind of following him into the woods. This is up in Seattle, out in the woods somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea of him trying to push her to do this, and her saying, "Okay, you can't take me, any further than I'm willing to go. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going with you. I'm not scared of you, right?"
Yeah.
This whole idea that she's not afraid, that she's just going to follow him out there and try to call his bluff, basically. So when we sat down, she's telling me this. She says, "Here's the story. This is what happened." So I just kind of laying it out like I heard it. And there's a lot of samples and stuff in this particular song. This is the one song that we do play with some samples running live. So yeah, that's the song.
Interesting. Wow, let's play it right now. This is called Here's the Story, and it's from El Terrible's 4-song EP, and you can find
Self-titled.
And it's self-titled, so it's there. You can find it on elterrible.bandcamp.com.
Correct.
And so let's play the song now on Mike's Daily Podcast.
Awesome.
Tell me that I'm moving on.
son. Well, that's news to me. Judging you used to be so much fun. Well, now judging me. You should know better. Graffiti eyes pinned to a sweater. I wanna light you up like a Christmas tree. She walks into what she believes. She's staring into the trees, but she don't scare, 'cause there's no one there. It's all about the story. So now you won't ignore me. So now you won't ignore me. Keep it breathing and listening for when you want some. And save a bit for me. Talking till you tried all night. Don't miss a money shot. You should know better. Graffiti eyes pinned to the weather. I wanna light you up like a Christmas tree. She walks into what she believes. She's staring into the trees, but she don't scare, 'cause there's no one there. It's all about the story. So now you won't ignore me. So now you won't ignore. So now you won't ignore. Broken never looked so good from the bottom. Well, that's news to me. Paint it over till it's gone. 'Cause it's time to move on with the next one. Think you know better. Graffiti eyes kill when you let her. I wanna light you up like a Christmas tree. She walks into what she believes. She's staring into the trees, but she don't scare, 'cause there's no one there. It's all about the story. So now you won't ignore me. So now you won't ignore.
Here's the story. That is El Terrible as we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast. Somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California tomorrow, the finale of my interview with Terry from El Terrible.
And here's today's podcast picture.
You can see the band. There's a picture of the band. That's Terry standing there in the middle. And see that picture now of El Terrible there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. I'm confused. I don't want to see ads everywhere from Google. I think I want to see ads from Giggle. What's Giggle? Giggle, it's like something when you laugh. Oh, right. You want to see ads from that. Mike Matthew, that sounds like really cool. That makes about as much sense as a good Michael W. Smith album, but okay. We've heard a lot of things that test the bounds of sense ability on this show today. But tomorrow's show, the finale of my interview with El Terrible, plus we'll hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Mike Matthews, your R rolling's getting worse as the show goes on. That's why we should end it.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
John Deere smells like a will!